Welcome into Doak Campbell Stadium in the Vitamin Energy Warchant WRAP, where Florida State just beat Alabama, number 8 Alabama, 31.
Not for long, Todd.
17,
Not for long.
giving the Crimson Tide their first season opening loss in 24 years, just like we all predicted, just like we all expected. This game was unbelievable.
I told you they'd cover. I had confidence that Florida State would cover.
We all had
them
them covering,
yeah.
but even that felt like a little bit of a stretch after what Florida State did last season and all the talent Alabama has. I thought Mike Norvell put it pretty well in his post-game press conference when he said it wasn't hard to hear people talking really highly about that Alabama offensive line or those Alabama wide receivers. Well, that offensive line, and then he clarified, he said they're really good players, but that Alabama offensive line paved the way for about 87 yards rushing. Those receivers.
The one guy was great.
Number 5, you're awesome. You can play for Florida State, number 5. The rest of them, we'll see. But Florida State dominates the game, runs for over 200 yards. Alabama's held under 100 yards rushing. Just dominated this game physically every way you can imagine, and gets a 2-touchdown win is 2 touchdown underdogs.
Yeah, and I think it was a cool moment for all of us, honestly, that were here, but especially Norvell and Castellanos. And Tommy Castellanos specifically because, I'm not going to say I first guessed that he could have this kind of impact, but I kind of did, just in the sense that he's so unique as a runner. That I joked with you at one of those runs he had where it's like, number one, what's a defense supposed to do? Like, there's a defensive end in position. No defense, even when you have the corner, he's going to make the corner as big as possible and get around you. And then he got late hit out of bounds. The first down run he had on the final drive of the game, essentially, and then Lucas had another one on 4th down. Those are just special type plays that aren't 80-yard plays, but they're game winners, man. They're game icers. And this guy has so much competitive spirit, it seems, that you just wonder in a place like this. Like, think about what he said in the post-game press conference. He talked about just getting off the bus before the game to do the legacy walk and how he had never experienced anything like that. Well, no shit, man. Sorry, Aslan. No, duh, man. You were at Boston College. They don't do legacy walks. They don't know when the team pulls up, when the team bus pulls up. They don't even know how they have a team, some of those guys. So the fact that he got to experience that, I feel like there's a chance that he could, like, really, really be embraced by this fan base, number one, but really kind of become a better player than he's ever been because of getting to play in environments like this with players he gets to play with.
Yeah, he was really good. I mean, he was outstanding. Yeah. He broke the rock after the game. But, man, the thing that impressed me the most about this game was just how many guys contributed on offense and
they
defense.
played 50? I didn't do the participation. They must have played 25 guys on defense.
We were talking about in the first 2 or 3 drives where Tony White's sending in dude after dude after dude. I mean, they probably played 25
the
guys
Desir
or more
twins
on
at one time, but then they played separate too.
They did.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of it all.
It's good to know they.
That's right. But guys like Ashlyn Barker, Earl Little's a guy.
Ashlyn Barker, by the way,
was very, very impressive.
And Earl Little too.
Earl Little's a guy that they put their chips in with him very early last spring. If everybody remembers, Tony White at one of those press conferences said Earl Little is him.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, dude, we saw him last year. Right. And it wasn't all
lowercase
that
great.
Him. But, I mean, it's just really impressive the way this coaching staff got these kids to believe in themselves after what happened last year. But the way this game was won, they were the more physical team. They were also the smarter team.
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't have the personal foul. Alabama made all the dumb mistakes.
That was a really bad personal foul Alabama had with all that momentum.
They had 2 of them, the one out of bounds and then the one the late hit on Tommy.
When he just landed on. But I'm saying that was when it was 24-17 and the game was in the balance and it was going to be like 3rd and 8.
And they were also the better coach team.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing fluky about this. And after the game, Mike Norvell said this is only one game. It was a big game, but it was only one game. Yeah, I get that. I agree with that to some degree. But when you win a game this completely in every fashion, man, that says a lot.
And you look good at almost everything. Now, you weren't great throwing the football. You didn't have to be. You will be better at that. Deuce Robinson and Squirrel White are going to have more than 3 catches combined. But the way the game was going and the opponent, it's like, you try to milk a little bit of clock, run the ball. You're running the ball well, and try to shorten the game a little bit. But I do think they will. And don't make a horrible turnover. Don't have a horrible turnover.
But even after that, Jalen Lucas, I mean, we all understood what happened there. Earlier, he gave up 15 yards on a punt he didn't catch.
Yeah, you were mad at him.
I was
in the
a little bit
press box,
mad at him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the coaches were mad at him. The next time he goes back there, the ball's short again. He races up. It ends up hitting him.
But he raced up and then at the last moment backed away.
Yeah. So
come on, Jalen. You're great at a lot of things, or really good at a lot of things.
But while that was a negative moment, the defense goes out there,
gets a stop
last year.
Oh my God! It's a touchdown in 2 plays. I mean, the defense might not even gone out on the field. Just like kickoff.
Just it's like a tap in punt.
Yeah, it's a gimme.
But I just think it was like so many different ways guys stepped up, and then the Gavin Sawchuk, the exclamation point at the end, that 14-yard touchdown run where he's basically carrying half of Alabama's defense. I mean, it really was a remarkable performance in so many ways. And like you said, you talk about Danzy and Jalen Lucas and all these guys who barely got on the field last year.
Right.
Played huge roles.
Earl Little barely got on the field last year. Barely, until he moved positions, which makes you wonder what they were looking at, that he wasn't playing that position the whole time. Because he's a difference maker. He is an impact. He makes an impact. You feel him. Alabama felt him. Ryan Williams certainly did. All those guys did. He just makes a flippin' impact, even though he's 199 pounds. They played so physical, Ira. That's what we wanted to see. Win or lose, be a team that you can actually root for and play physical and hard, and that's all about Tony White. That is his imprint on this defense, in my opinion. And then also, you brought it up, they were very, very physical and aggressive, and that was fun. Really smart, too. Look, man, Edwin Joseph is beat for a touchdown. A 50-yard Ryan Williams walk-in touchdown on 4th down. I know he got a penalty for it, but it's smart to grab him there. Get you a defensive hold. They ended up kicking a field goal on that drive. He saved his team 4 points. Now, don't get beat like that, but when you know you're beat like that, grab a guy. And I brought up, I talked about, I think it was KJ Sampson and McCray both read a tunnel screen to Ryan Williams. As soon as the ball is snapped, they're looking at him. They take one step and then start backing up to get in the passing lane, and they end up almost deflecting it into an interception. They made some really – Earl Little going up to Jabril Rawls after a play.
I was just about to bring that up. So there's a play – at the end of a play, Jabril Rawls – and the defense was playing well.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of a play, Jabril Rawls gets into it with the receiver, and they're just kind of pushing and shoving. It looks like Jabril is about to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Earl Little races up and grabs him and basically shoves him. I mean, it was just you saw things like that. That again, man, good teams. That's what you see in good football teams.
Yeah, and there's some football awareness there, man. There's just some special football awareness. We don't know how good this team is going to be. Frankly, Alabama might be ready to go 2-10.
We don't know. Average.
They didn't look great. They have very good players, but they didn't look great. And when you have that big, bad offensive line and you ran for a whole 80 yards, and I'm going to say 50 of them came on the first drive, you did nothing running the ball after the first game. Again, another really good adjustment. And you just talk about the guys they threw out there. Again, I don't know how special any of these guys are. I don't know if they're the Florida State players I'm talking about. They're good. They're good college players. I don't know if they're NFL players, but by God, they play hard. And they play physical, and a lot of them played smart today. And it's like Justin Cryer said, man, like we weren't surprised by this, and it didn't look like it at all. Like other than that first drive, they kind of shut Alabama down.
And like you said, we'll see where it goes from here. But man, you have to feel good if you're a Florida State fan. If you're watching this and you're not. Well, we don't get the hate watchers tonight, Corey.
No, but I think we're going to get a lot of love watchers. And just so you know, I have not come up with anything. I'm not dumping champagne on myself. I'm not doing it. I didn't want to prepare for something because I knew if it happened, they were going to lose. I was going to jinx it, so I didn't want to do that.
But the way this team responded from last season, again, at the end, you go 2-10 last season. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about 2024 anymore.
I didn't write about it. I wrote about it like just to say officially it's done. It's done. We don't have to think about it anymore.
But to come off of that season and you fire both coordinators, you bring in 50 new players, and that's all great. But there's a lot of these guys, as you mentioned, Justin Cryer, Earl, there's guys who were here last year that wore all those losses, got embarrassed week after week after week. To come back and believe – for them to play the way they played, with the conviction they played with, they had to completely believe that Mike Norvell could turn this around. And that's impressive, man. Like, that's impressive because a lot of people would not.
No, man. Look, it is nice that it's 2025 and the portal is a thing. And they went and got a whole starting 11. That offensive line played well, and they're all old and experienced. And you got some guys on the defensive line and just the defensive roster that are difference makers that weren't here last year. But, yeah, man, I think it says something about what that guy no fan base could ever go through what Florida State just went through. I know I've made that point before, but you don't go 13-0 and 2-10. That doesn't happen. It's just not something that anybody's ever experienced. So I understand the negativity. We were a part of it too. I mean, we didn't have anything else to write about or talk about except 2-10.
Well, it was negative.
It was a negative season. Yeah. The fact that you come off a 2-10 season, you're starting with Alabama. And all you do is beat them by 2 touchdowns at home. You were a 13.5-point underdog, and you win. But you covered it if you would have been Alabama. So that's a really, really good sign. And man, more than anything, it's cool for the people watching this. Like, you get to be happy again on a Saturday. It had been a long time. It had been literally probably since the Saturday versus Louisville. And that happiness lasted
6 hours.
10 hours until they snubbed you. You know who got in instead of you? That team you just housed by 2 touchdowns. Suck it, Bama. Suck it, Bama.
I thought Mike Norvell started his press conference by saying, welcome back to Doe Campbell Stadium.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because the other thing we don't really talk about is, they never had a home field advantage last season because the renovations were going on.
Well, right.
Half the stadium was unusable.
Yes.
And they've, again.
And the thing on the field was unwatchable.
That is 100% true. But there were a lot of concerns this offseason about these renovations because the capacity of the stadium now is not 80,000 or 78,000. It's officially 68,000, although I'm guessing it was probably hit 70 tonight.
It seemed loud.
But that's
seemed
what I'm saying.
Rambunctious.
Alabama, and I know they have a first-time starting quarterback, first-time new starting quarterback.
First and last, maybe.
In Ty Simpson, but they had delay of games.
Yeah,
they had false starts.
They had to call timeouts in the second half because they were about to get a delay of game.
This place was rocking, and it was cool to see. You got Dalvin Cook on the sideline. You got a bunch of former players. I mean, it was just
Jordan Travis, P-Dub, Burt Kreischer.
And the column you wrote. I'm not going to give you too much credit for your column before the game because you did spend about a year saying the other side of it. But
shut up, Ira.
But
quit bringing up old stuff.
Your column before the game was that listen, let's not forget that Florida State's still Florida State, even though last year was awful.
Yeah.
Florida State's still Florida State. Don't look at this as David and Goliath.
Don't look at like your Iowa State
or
TCU.
Look at this place. This was a good reminder of what Florida State is.
And when it's operating at peak efficiency, there aren't many better. And I'm not sure if it's peak efficiency yet, but you went out and got a really good, I think, offensive coordinator, perhaps a great defensive coordinator. And we don't know about the head coach right now. Like, is he good again? I don't know. He went 13-0, 2-10, and now he just beat number 8 Alabama. So he might be good again. We don't know what he's like. I liked him in this role. You know what I mean? Where he's not good. The CEO role seemed to fit him pretty well. Just don't lose next week to East Texas.
You hit it. You certainly
Christi,
hit it on it's fair to say you probably hit it on your coordinators. Those were really good hires.
Yeah.
Tony White and Gus Malzahn did a really good job, obviously, preparing this team for this game. The other thing I would say, though, is you look at going forward, you have a nice little runway here. I mean, the big question we had all offseason was, what if this game goes sideways? What if it's a close loss? How would they handle it? Well, now you got this win. You get, over the next 3 weeks, you get a East Texas A&M, Kent State, and a bye week to prepare for Virginia. And then
it's not great. Although I guess they were winning, right, Aslan? They looked good. They won big today.
To get ready for that Miami game. So, again, man, this is now we're just about guaranteed. You don't want to count your chickens before they hatch.
Yeah.
You never do that.
No, I don't know.
Never caught. Yeah. But you're looking at about a month of buildup maybe to those Virginia-Miami games.
When you're counting chickens, is it to sell or just to brag? Look how many chickens I have.
Maybe
Are you
juggle them?
Oh, you could juggle chickens. Sure, who says that, Ira? I'm on a heater. I'm doing my chicken bit, and then there you go, just derailing it.
We don't know if Florida State's back. What we do know is Warchant
Can I make
is
this?
back.
Can I? And I'm sorry. I just stepped all over it.
So happy.
Yeah, that's my fault.
He was like a proud pop over there.
That's my fault.
And then you just
say it again.
No, I'll do it again.
Okay, well, take 2 in a second.
No,
but I was going to say,
I
wrote about Florida State being back, and I brought this up on headlines a little bit, but it was one horrible year. It doesn't mean you went off the reservation. It was a horrible year. Like I said, you're still on the property. You just went down the well. But it's like you disappeared into the ether for 1 year. But it's not like Army beating out. Oh, Army's back. It's been since our Navy, since Roger Staubach was the quarterback.
Nebraska coming back.
Yeah, right. It's Florida State was here a year and a half ago. They were one of the best teams in the country, maybe the best team in the country with a healthy Jordan Travis. So they haven't been that bad for long. So maybe this is just that was the anomaly. 2024 was an anomaly, and it was a gross one we never want to experience again. But maybe the reality is Florida State's is still a pretty darn good program and really relevant.
Well, so maybe they're not back. Maybe they never went anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
But what is back?
Oh, sorry, I stepped on it again.
I mean, it's the season opener, guys. Not everybody's as sharp as the Noles in the season opener.
Yeah,
we're
right.
the Alabama post-game wrap-up shows. But Warchant BOGO's back because Vitamin Energy is back.
Does Aslan have some? He doesn't have anything to
So how's that work? If you go to vitaminenergy.com.
Oh, yeah. You buy one and you get one free.
That's exactly how it works.
You buy 6, you get 6 free.
I mean, make it happen. Make it rain. Make it rain, Vitamin
You know what?
Energy.
Buy 31 and you get 31 free.
That's
for
nice
all
play.
The points they put up on the big bad Alabama Crimson Tide.
We have so much content at warchant.com.
Too
already
much.
Up. There was the post-game show with Gene and Tom. Already had over 2,500 people watching it, maybe more. They were getting some crazy donations, so hopefully the guys spread the wealth. And plenty of content. Aslan's got all the post-game videos. Watch Justin Cryer, Earl Little, all those guys. I mean, they were awesome in the post-game press conference. And then your column will be up on the website.
Yep.
Plenty of coverage coming. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to write about this Florida State football team.
It's going to be a fun month, and we deserve it. Who deserves it more than we? We do.
For Corey and Aslan, this is Ira Schofel signing off from Doak Campbell Stadium, where Florida State wins 31-17. Suck it, Bama? Is that what you said?
Yes, absolutely suck it. Sorry, DeBoer.